So there's been quite a trend going on within social media, and especially amongst certain platforms, the deplatforming of certain celebrities and things of that nature. Now, obviously, at some level, some of these people are very culpable in starting a shitstorm. People like Donald Trump, who has obviously been deplatformed. People like Andrew Tate. I think the most recent one was a YouTuber by the name of Sneako, which
Yeah, what happened to Sneako?
Sneako has had his YouTube channel removed, which Sneako is kind of like diet Andrew Tate.
Yeah, I've seen him. I've watched him debate ABBA a couple times.
Mm-hmm. Which it's not like he doesn't have problematic views at some level, I guess.
No, he's definitely red pill.
Yeah, but you know what? Like, I just don't necessarily know.
What was the straw that like got him deplatformed?
From what I've seen, I don't know if this is necessarily true, but I don't know if it was on a live stream of his. He was talking about another influencer and talking about the fact that said influencer was going to R-word his girlfriend.
Was going to R-word Sneako's girlfriend?
Yeah.
Why would he say that?
And he like kept saying it. He said it multiple times throughout the stream. And literally, he didn't say the word. He said R-word. But I don't know if that's the actual definitive straw. Because what I've seen is the email says that he's broken several guidelines.
It's not like that they would explain it anyways.
They won't, because they don't do that. And I'm just sick and tired of that shit. But anyway, I just don't know if deplatforming, if setting the stage for deplatforming is necessarily a good thing or a bad thing. I'm not saying it's good. I'm not saying it's bad, but probably a discussion that we should have. Because, I mean, if you're doing it for one side and it seems to be overwhelmingly for one side of things, at what point does the tide turn and it becomes the other side?
That's the thing, though. So, look, I kind of look at this the same way I've been looking at Michigan's defensive stats. Brett,
Okay.
Stick with me.
Yep.
So I see things in the game that don't look right, that look out of line, that look like mistakes, and it looks like we're getting gashed. Then all of a sudden I check the stats, and it's like, well, they didn't do too bad because, I mean, the proof's in the pudding.
Yeah.
If they were gaining it, we'd see it. Similar to deplatforming, right? I've always taken a stance, because I guess I consider myself to be fairly pro, First Amendment. I'm not a patriot flag waver about the issue, but I do think people should be able to say what they want to within reason, outside of obvious hate speech.
Yeah.
When we talk about deplatforming people, it usually comes with the common sense conclusion that if we allow it to grow, if we allow it to be normalized, it'll eventually turn back on to people that you like to listen to or that you trust.
Sure.
I have not been able to find that example of a person who is speaking salaciously, but speaking in a way that gets them deplatformed, that is out of the conservative apparatus. I mean, let's just run down the list of guys. You got Alex Jones, you got Andrew Tate, Fresh and Fit got banned for a minute.
Trump.
Now
Sneako.
Who are we talking about here? Because, I mean, it's literally been the last 4 or 5 years that we've been talking about this, about, do we really deplatform guys? Should we do that? Should we do that? They're going to use it as an excuse to deplatform you.
You haven't seen it.
Haven't seen it yet. So common sense tells me, yes, that is a very real possibility, and we should guard against that. Right now, it's helping get guys who are dangerous with the platforms that they have off of said platform. And for any of you who don't think that deplatforming Andrew Tate affected him, I don't think you ever would have seen him on cable news as much as you see him on cable news now had he had his internet platform. That's just a fact. He doesn't want to talk to the 40-somethings and the 50-somethings.
Yeah.
He wants the young, impressionable minds, and they are not watching Fox News.
For sure.
That is not his business model, going on Tucker Carlson. So, to that end, it is helping because it relegates him to the fringe type of genre that he is adequate for. Mm-hmm. That he fits into. Not the type of mass spreading of information that could lambast over any number of people, many of them impressionable, many of them unable to decipher through the nonsense that some of these guys say, and so end up joining another mob because even within that, the majority of people in general are sheep looking to be led, looking to be herded in a certain popular direction.
Yeah.
So I can't say that we can totally do away with deplatforming because the way that people use these platforms is dangerous, extremely dangerous. But at the same time, I just don't see it happening to people saying, yeah, I want healthcare. And I think we should all pay for it, every single one of us. And I don't care who doesn't think we should tear the whole goddamn system down. I don't see those people getting deplatformed.
The closest thing that I think I'd be able to see is maybe Hassan.
So let me address that. I was actually thinking about that. Hassan got deplatformed because YouTube, being who they are, was facetious in the way that they applied their racial slur guidelines, right? Mm-hmm. Cracker, while I 100% agree, is in no way comparable to that of the N-word, right? But if you are a platform like YouTube, who regularly deplatforms people or demonetizes people for arbitrary reasons, it is completely in line with the way that they do business for them to have suspended Hassan for saying cracker over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Because that's what they do.
Yep.
What they do not do is kick left-wing liberals like Hassan, or not liberals, excuse me, left-wing liberals or left-wing progressives like Hassan off of the platform.
Yeah. My other question is, at what point do these, right personalities or personalities on the right start to almost champion deplatforming on the normal platforms and then transcend that normal platform into whatever, because like Trump has his own platform, does he not? So then like,
it's not successful.
Huh?
It's not successful. He does.
It's not. But at what point do they go through YouTube, get the deplatforming trophy, and then take that to whatever platform? And then build up that platform.
I'm gonna answer that for you, but I didn't. I just thought about some more people. So Destiny, he's allowed to go off and off on these tangents that he's going off of that never kick him off. David Pakman is allowed to say that critical race theory is reductionist. The idea of anything being centered around race is reductionist, is allowed to get off in all of these progressive circles, and they never kick those guys off. I just wanted to be able to get that off.
Fair enough.
Why can't they successfully move their subscribership off of these platforms into something that's catered to them? Because their ideas are not popular. And independent platforms for conservative values do not perpetrate themselves, they do not perpetuate themselves. Mm-hmm. They do not drive themselves. They are able to exist on large platforms for everyone because it's a safe place for everyone to get what they want.
That's
when
right.
you have to put a flag on it and you have to let everyone know, here's my Confederate flag on one side, here's my Ronald Reagan, Donald Trump mashup photo on the other. There aren't masses of people ready to do that. Mm-hmm. They want to be quietly conservative. They want to be socially liberal and fiscally conservative.
Yeah. And
litigiously conservative.
Yep.
But they do not want your friends and the black couple across the street and everybody at yoga and Pilates to know that they voted Trump. Mm-hmm. So they're not about to be just out here promote. The people at them rallies are the craziest of crazy. They are the most hardened conservative supporters you can possibly get, and that is the base.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that doesn't propel a app or a platform. Gina Carano can have one hell of a campaign rally, but she can't sell a movie off conservative values. It's just not going to be a thing. They're not popular. Their values are not popular in law, in voting. Why would they ever be popular in any other context? In the most tangible form, they are not popular. Why would they be popular in any other context? So no, I don't think that you can take your stuff completely off of YouTube, Twitch, and replicate that following on something independent and catered toward that audience, because that audience is niche.
Yeah, that's fair.
The people who are going to sign up for that are very niche.
The ones who are outspoken about it are
Even the
niche.
majority of conservatives are not floating into that stuff, even though they may agree with you.
Yeah.
But they're not going to play tinfoil hat with you.
The consensus on whether or not deplatforming is for the better or going a route it should not go.
Listen, if you come out and you do irresponsible things with the audience that you garner, I do think you should have to be punished for that. There's responsibility that comes with being able to lead people in certain directions.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We wouldn't allow well, shit, I guess we do. I said we wouldn't allow a politician to go out here and say something dangerous to the people, but
I mean, we got
literally
4
do.
years of that, and
Literally
then some.
do. I guess there are certain positions where your relative status and your impact comes with a little bit more responsibility than the average person. And so when you misuse that in certain ways, it comes back to bite you in the ass. Not to mention that these are private companies that you're engaging with. Mm-hmm. And so you really have no recourse to say, well, I should. Well, you know what I mean? Because it's you have to play by their rules. You have to.
Yeah. And there should be checks and balances to your absolute power over a certain group of people.
As such, there should be checks and balances against the entity as well.
Oh,
but I'm never going to protect somebody's right to say something racist. It's hard for you to sit up here and fight for someone's right to be misogynistic or homophobic or whatever. Yeah, it's hard to fight for someone's right to be hateful. Call me when some true revolutionaries are getting silenced on these platforms, and then we can have a real conversation about how bad deplatforming is. But as long as we're sticking with the Tates, the Freshes and Fits, the Petersons, I'm good.
Joe Rogans, Alex Jones.
I don't think they'll ever Alex Jones for sure, but I don't think they'll ever deplatform Joe Rogan. He's too big. Now, if there was ever a guy who maybe be able to do something independently as Joe Rogan, but he's literally the biggest show in the game. Mm-hmm. He's the biggest show in the game, and also, as much as he loves to flirt with these right-wing guys, he still has very liberal and progressive ideals.
He has his foot out the back door.
You know what I mean? He does just enough to let people know that he's not a complete gorilla. But he still, winks to all his UFC gun buddies.
He looks at it as, or at least he presents it as, I'm just questioning, keeping an open mind, as opposed to what he's really doing,
he'll admit when he doesn't have a level of expertise. He'll admit when he was wrong most of the time. But I hate the people that he platforms, and I'm not a fan of his past.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
you're doing something in the present and future that I don't agree with. Plus, you have a checker pass. So,
yep.
It's enough for me. What do you think about the platforming? Yay or nay? Give us your thoughts in the comments below, and also make sure you like, share, and subscribe.
And make sure you check out some of our other videos that go over just social issues and things of that nature. And make sure you subscribe for more, because we will be having more conversations like this in the future.